All right. I would like us to now zoom in on the brand, Salmon's. When did you start using that name? I know you had Salmon's Photo Studio, Salmon's Bargain Center. Was it from McCatty Street? You called your studio Salmon's?
I'm trying to remember that. I think it was Salmon's photo studio.
Okay. So you transitioned with you from McCatty Street to
That's
7
what I
St.
remember.
James Street,
Eh.
then to 32 St. James Street.
But then at 32, because we branched out into other things, because we had
Household
more
items,
space,
yes.
so it becomes Salmon's Bargain
Bargain
Center and Photo
and
Studio.
photo studios for us. Okay. All right.
And then in the 80s, in the 80s we get into the lab
Okay.
part of it in the 80s.
That part I vaguely remember.
Eh?
That part I vaguely remember.
Okay.
I think I was old enough to remember that part of it.
All right. Good. Okay.
All right. In terms of photography, you acquired your camera at what stage? Remember, initially you borrowed a camera,
Yes.
and then you gave her back the camera, the friend you had borrowed your camera from.
Yes, and that would have been in the early part of the 60s.
Early part of the 60s.
When I say early, it might be
Okay.
62 or something like that.
I remember you say you acquired your first camera from a store which was located across the post office.
Yes.
All right, fine. With you acquiring this camera now, who taught you how to use the camera? Because to use a camera back then versus now would have been a totally different picture. How did you gain your photography knowledge?
Well,
other than your love and your passion for it.
Frank, I bought it at Frank's place. I would ask him questions. And it was one of them camera at that time where you can go in and you can.
Okay. Do you remember the model or no?
It was a Rico.
Rico.
Don't ask me what the model number.
But the brand was Rico.
Rico.
Okay. All right. So Frank would have been a resource for you in terms of when you had questions.
Yes.
Operational issues.
That is when you catch
like
him at the shop.
When you, okay.
But if you don't catch him, you at least.
Members of staff.
A member of staff who's selling and would guide you. Okay. I could go to Cook's Photo Studio, who are on Union Street, somewhere close to NCB, somewhere out there, those days. But I didn't enjoy going there because there's this guy who was the main man there, not the owner, and him love to touch. So it was him, like when you come from work later, check me now, so him can get to touch you, rub your hand, make it laugh. So with that, you didn't get all you want from him.
Yeah.
You promised to go back and not go. But after a while, you get little knowledge here and there.
All right. As your son growing up, I remember hearing about Mr. Salmon and his bicycle. Mr. Salmon used to ride in bicycle and take photos around town. Enlighten us. Shed some light on you and your bicycle and photography.
When I was working at Casa Montego, obviously I didn't have no bicycle, I couldn't afford that. Until after a while, this co-worker of mine decided to sell his ladies' wheels bicycle. Of course, I can't afford to buy it cash. So we work out a payment plan. And I gave him some of the money and I have to pay him so much over a certain time. And that was how I get my bicycle. But it was, to me, quite a helpful thing because it could take me from one place to the next. I didn't have no out-of-town thing. Glendevon would have been the longest journey.
Yes.
And it helped me very well.
But
until that was before I left Casa Montego. But when I left NIG, I didn't have any car or anything. And I remember I arranged something where I bought a car from another industrial garage at Anglia in the latter part of 1967. So then I could move to weddings and
Yes.
what have you. So I trust the car or whatever. One of them days, I started to make like a something off it and could put something together and do what I want.
All right. I want you to give us a historical perspective of photography in Montego Bay. I'm pretty young compared to you, but growing up, I know about places like Salmon's Photo Studio, McGill, Ventura, and so on. But from back in your days when you started, I've heard of Stanley Motors, of course. I've heard of Photo Express.
Stanley Motors never have any studio down here.
They didn't have any studio down here. Okay, but I heard their name: the Stanley Motors, the Photo Express, the Color World.
Color Photo Express up close to number 1.
Across from the post office, right there. Well, directly in front of the library, somewhat. But that's about the names I know.
Wang.
Okay.
Used to be up city center there too.
Okay. All right.
Crooks was on, as I say, Union Street.
Union Street. You mentioned that earlier.
Backside of National Commercial Bank.
Okay. So, how many studios was around at the time when you started?
At least 3 or so. Was somewhere in town here. But at the same time, I still have my faithful who would walk from downtown or take a taxi and stop by me at McCatty Street.
Yes.
One thing I can remember, you're not going to leave from downtown and come up there, come give me business and me have you waiting.
Yes.
So me used to have somebody work with me. At one time it was a male, at one time it was a female.
Yes.
When that one person going for their lunch downtown, I would say, when you're coming back, pick up a lunch at Lotus Room or one of them for me. And they will bring back the lunch and put it on and say, see your lunch running, I said. I say, yeah man, we soon go. Because my intention was to have the customer looked about.
Yes.
And if after that person gone another one come, I'm going to look about them so the food can see it. There are times when the one worker would possibly say, remember, you take it sir, the food must be insipid now. But it was in me from Casa Montego days to NIG days, make the customer be satisfied.
Yes.
And that is what I believe in, giving them good service. There's a man who told me a story 2 or 3 times. He said that when I was at McCatty Street, him and his brother was passing one Sunday. And they saw me outside and they started to talk to me and said they want a nice portrait, but they will come back. And he said, why not do it now?
That you are here right now.
Right.
Yes.
Their answer was they're not properly attired.
Yes.
So when they have on something, so I said, man, don't worry yourself, you can't give no jacket and tie.
Yes.
And they then suppose me not like it, put on a few jacket and it might not fit good. They say if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it.
Simple.
And they decide to come inside, put on the jacket and tie, and they say I put a little radio beside them. They take the picture, and according to him, is the best picture he has ever taken in his lifetime. And he said, when he go to America, go look for him friend, for him brother. And he said, the brother had one put up and say, remember that picture there? Boy, we can't take another one like that again. And then the picture was nice.
Yes.
And so on. So, pleasing the customer was my number one. Not just look money, but to make they be satisfied what they get. And with that, they would take their friends or they would take whoever come and take picture there. And thank Almighty God, it worked in my favor.
Yes. Yes. All right. So you said there were about 3 to 4 different studios in and around Montego Bay at that time, you weren't phased because you know what you were bringing to the table. You were customer focused, and you know that once you have happy customers, essentially, that would translate into a successful business.
Yes.
All right. I know back then it was film, and I know now it's digital. Essentially, when you take a photograph now, you see the end result instantly because we're in a digital era. Back then, you take a photograph. You mentioned earlier about setting up your dark room at McCatty Street and stuff like that. How long would it take for a customer to see their photo after initially taking the photo with the camera?
Sometime a week or so.
A week?
A week. Because Stanley Motor come down only a certain time a week. You give them, they take them to Kingston and process them, then print them. And when they come in down next week, then bring it down.
Okay.
When I got married in 1972, my plan was to do what we call a honeymoon in New York.
Yes.
At the same time, I had a chat with somebody in Kingston who recommended a piece of equipment I could get to buy in New York. I know we're in Jamaica and I sell it. I could ask them and they could bring it for me.
Yes.
And I said, when I go up there, I would make it work, the trip serve for three purposes. The honeymoon.
Be number one.
Number one. I would do a course at New York Institute of Photography.
Yes.
And I would buy the piece of equipment and take it out with me. I went to BNS. I spoke to somebody I know at BNS and they promised me, that shouldn't be a problem, man. When you're ready, come on, we deal with it. The day when I went there, on my way to the bank, I saw a female that I know very well. And I said, oh, you still don't come for me? I said, that's what I'm coming to do now. All right, I'm going on lunch now, but speak to Mr. So-and-so.
Yes.
I went to Mr. So-and-so, and he, when I told him I'll be getting married in another 2 weeks or so, and I would like to purchase this piece of equipment when I go up there, he went on to say he was getting married shortly too, but he got the conversation mixed up.
Yes.
That when he went to a senior person to sign the application, the person he made mention of the marriage and all that. So they take it that I want the money
to get married.
The wedding.
Oh.
And I said to him, no. And he said, turn it down. So I said, why? When I look on the thing and read the thing, he said, how come this tonight?
Yes.
And then he said, oh, true way to talk about so and so, you know. When he went back to have it corrected, whoever senior person say, they, in my opinion, they believe that I'm trying to make a comeback.
A change, yes.
Yes.
To say it's not for the wedding.
Right. I told that man, used to eat up at his place of, what the place there, Albion Heights.
Okay.
His wife would cook for me certain time because I was a single man then up to then. And I talked to Mr. Mackenzie and said, boy, them let me down over there, so and so and so and so. He said, when I go over, and whatever it was called at the time, NCB, but whatever name it had those days. And I stayed up McCatty Street and made a call. And I talked to it. Turned out that at the time, Dunbar McFarlane was a loan officer. And he said, we come down, make we talk. I went there, talked to him, tell him of my plan. And he said, that's not a problem. We can help you with that. But you have an account with us? I said, no. He said, we open an account. I said, I can't do it. How much it take to open it? He tell me. I said, I can't find that now. He put me onto a female. We do whatever. And that was the start of my doing business with NCB.
Yes.
When I got to New York, I went to this New York Institute of Photography, which I heard of and talked to them about it. And the course was to last for some weeks, something like about 7 weeks. No, it wasn't 7. But they were relocating the school from one location to another. So
yeah.
they're giving us extra time. I went and asked, can I do the double shift? 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or something like that, I remember.
Just to cover some ground so that you
Right.
finish faster.
Right.
Yes.
And they okayed, and I did that, the 2 shifts per day, and I do my course, and I arranged to buy the piece of equipment.
Yes.
And when I go to Jamaica, I start to do it. I don't know about color picture, but they show me, then tell me what to do. I learn it at the institute. So when me go, then no nobody else man to go Vietnam print color. So me get a business. I remember I did one for a worker at BNS, Sam Sharp Square.
Yes.
And when she came to collect it, she said, so what that one over there? I said, no, that one the color not right. Let me see it. Take it and show her. Me want it. How much you sell me it for? Let me give you half price.
Yes.
She said that's not a problem. She take the good one and the rejected one.
Yes. The one that you reject based on your standard.
Yes. And she and our friend, another co-worker,
yes,
say, yeah, nice picture of this man.
So you were the first to print a color photo in Western Jamaica?
As far as I know, yes.
As far as you know?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. Somebody since that tell me of 10, but to my knowledge,
yes,
because I used to print at 10 at one time too, before I started to do my own black and white. But then having that, I can't remember anybody was printing it at that time yet.
Yes.
So it's like I brought something new to the market.
Yes.
Down here, and it worked out. It worked out well for me. Worked out well.
That gave you a cut above the rest. That gave you an advantage in your field, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
When it was something different, and everybody would come at me for it, to know about it and want a nice color photograph.
Okay. All right. So, stepping apart from taking or capturing photos, you were now trained by the New York Institute of Photography to be able to print your own photos.
Yes.
So you operated your own darkroom, you mixed your own chemicals, and you did your own printing. That's total quality control from start to finish.
Yes.
So you had control over the time frame, and you had total control over the quality. That's good. That's very commendable. You're a trailblazer, pretty much. You are. All right. We discussed earlier that Photo Express was in Montego Bay. Color World, I think, was in Montego Bay.
They had a branch where more for collecting and delivering.
Okay. Bring us to the days of when you operated now your own photo lab. Yes, you had the location at 32 St. James Street. You had your photo studio. We're taking passport photos, visa photos, glamour shots, portraits, stuff like that. But take us to the expansion where you now launched into wholesale developing of films and printing.
The people around, for example, the guys who taking photographs for a living, they were happy because they were getting it back quick. I had comment from a few who seemed to prefer what we were giving them, because I didn't start when we work the lab. It's different from when you're just printing your own something you take.
Yes.
Because they come in and you, this one have 2 rows, that one have 1, that one have 1, and you need to get them within certain time. But we had brought down from Kingston a guy who come down to help set up the lab and print and do everything, because he worked at lab in Kingston.
He has the experience.
He had the experience.
Which you didn't have.
No.
Okay.
So he Kenton.
I remember Ken.
You remember?
Okay, yeah.
And him come and him do the full setup and what have you. And in the end, I mean, we were grateful.
You can recall what year that was? I remember you had an official opening.
It's
and stuff
something
like
so it's either 85 or 86. I got a little mixed up. I put it as in mid 80s. It's either 85 or 86.
86. Okay.
And that girl that hugged me up out of the airport, I saw me go a month before last. She said she worked with me in the 80s and so on and so on and so. But we were giving quality work out there. And then afterward, a woman came. I remember why Kenton had to go back to Kingston.
I remember her. I don't remember her name, but I remember her.
Right.
I think she had a son.
Yes.
Or two.
Yeah,
she stayed up Albion, in the Albion region. I remember that apartment in Albion where she stayed. I remember quite well.
Yes. But we were giving service to the public that they couldn't get in Montego Bay otherwise at the time. Now is a different thing. So, you know, but we were, and there are people who still will say things to remind me of those days, and I'm happy. You know, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me a few months ago on Strand Street. I went to Strand Street depot to deliver something. And on my way out, a man was standing out there waiting. And he called me, Mr. Sam, how you doing? And we start a conversation. And he tell me, so from Fowler Bridge days, he been buying water bottles from us. And I say, I hope you're still giving us support. Yes, man. And I asked him during the conversation, why you buy it from us? Any special reason? He say, tell you the truth. When they buy it, some of them, they say, I sell around town, they get 3 to 4 months service. And the battery done.
Yes.
When they buy it from a few places, they expect at least 1 year service before we start to go back. Sometimes more than that. Yes. And we just look into it because Baron Key was talking at one time, talking to me and telling me that somebody he know quite well is saying, when he recommend the person, say, why not buy batteries from him? He said, no, sir, batteries too dear. But then there's a difference. There are those who look at the service they get from it and is comfortable with that.
Service and quality. While there are those customers who are price-based. Even when something will last 2-3 times. You'll be selling an iron for, say, $2,500 or $3,000. And they might be able to get one for $500. But they may have to buy 5 or 6 of that one to be able to equate or compare to the one that you're offering.
And they can't stop and think about the service. That was one of the things.
They're just price-based. That is all they're... I can get one for $500 now. I'm taking the $500 one now.
It's cheaper. You save whole for money.
Yes.
But you don't serve it now.
It's almost like purchasing at a place that offers higher purchase. Yes, the amount you pay per month is lower, significantly lower. But then when you add up over time what you pay, sometimes you pay double, sometimes triple for the item.
But so it is what it is. They don't know the difference. They don't stop and look at it on that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they don't know the difference.
Some don't.
It's a matter of what they are comfortable with. And even when you stop to try and explain it, they still don't business with you or not care with your explanation. Them just doing what they're doing. The bottom line is each month they end up paying less. They're not looking at the overall or the grand picture or the grand total. But it is what it is. You have to allow people to be who they are. Some will learn and some just won't. Yeah.
So, when I one of the things that pushed me from there, when I look and people begin to tell me about Bash Pro and what they have, the question is, it's cheaper. No question about that. But is it the same quality?
Same quality.
Many of them don't know. They can't answer. One of the things where I remember a repairman telling me plain, say, excuse me, I'm not going to fight with those people because them you can't get no parts with them in the first thing.
Yes.
And you know, a few drawbacks from it, but then they know. But a woman asked me some time ago to take down a blender for her, and she come from another parish, some part of Hanover. And when we meet her down a shop with it, based on the discussion we had about when she went, this woman, I said to her, how did you get my number? She said, you gave me a card. I said, oh, she's a retired teacher. But she said, me used to use your blender over the years and it served me well. I don't have no problem.
All right, Mr. Sam. What advice would you give someone who is interested in becoming an entrepreneur. Somebody who is working somewhere now, yet they want to take the leap of faith, like you did years ago. Venture into the unknown, so to speak. They have never been an entrepreneur before. It's burning inside. They want to step out of what they are currently doing, their current 9 to 5, and they want to go do something for themselves. What advice do you have for somebody like that?
All right. The first thing that a different individual will do different things. Some, if you tell them this is a good thing to deal with, they will tell you, yes, but me not like that. So it depends on if somebody is going to do something that they have an interest in. It makes a big difference. There are those who will operate a photo business, and there are some who think that if they open up a store, he will do better, and there's one who thinks if he open up a restaurant, he will do better. So all of that are things for a person to look into before them launch out into whatever. One of the things I would be cautious of though is the line of thing that I am now in. I only realized since I got into it that wholesale can be difficult. Can be a good thing, but you have to have money to go into it. When you do retail, like when we sell the clothing or the appliance or whatever, if a person come in and see it and like it, them pay for it and gone. They mightn't take it now, but they look at the price and they might go somewhere to see if they can see it cheaper.
Yeah.
Before they take a decision as to whether they should buy there or not. But in any case, at the end of the day, you will hopefully have some money in your hand. My man, what his name, said to me, the one who bought the place, that when he heard that I was in wholesale, he showed a little surprise and cautious thing about it, because if you, as he put it then, and I agree with him now that I prove it to myself, you have to give credit or you're not in business when it comes to wholesale. And there are times when you get the merchandise, pass them on, credit here, credit there, and the thing finish. You need to get some more because
some stock, yes.
Fresh stock, because there are other customer who didn't get any from this before, so and so finish. But the problem is, how long you're going to wait on it?
Mm-hmm.
And in the meanwhile, as he put it, if you say you spend 3 million, doesn't name a figure, to stack up and that gone. You need another 3 million to go pick up another.
To replenish, yes.
Yes. And this is creating a problem. Okay. You must have heard me talk about a certain person who I will not call name. Somebody I've known for years. She owed me some money. I went there to collect based on the agreement, the tentative agreement we have, the verbal agreement we had. And when I got there, in the front of the business, is Mrs. So-and-so here? Oh yeah, she's in the office. And by the time you're going towards the office, I could see her sitting there. And by the time I went up to the door, going in the office, oh, she's not here. She gone to the restroom, you know.
Oh, God.
And they use that to say she's
not here.
Because she gonna hide from me.
Yes.
And I didn't talk to that woman after that. Not the one who owed me the money, the one who tell me the lie.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to her for a while till me see her downtown and I ball out my name. Mr. Sam!
Oh, God. Yeah, it is what it is, Mr. Sam. It's all part and parcel of business. All right. What would you say has been your most accomplished moment in business?
Hold on.
I know there have been many, you know. I know you have, yeah, I mean, you have many accomplishments. However, but what do you see? Which one do you see as your biggest accomplishment?
All right. One of them, which is going to contradict me,
Yes.
is my not only get to 32 St. James Street as a tenant,
Yes.
but end up buying the property for myself
At 32 St. James
at
Street.
32 St. James Street. But that is
Okay.
one of my biggest accomplishments
The
in life.
iconic building in Sam Sharp Square.
Yes.
All right.
And because my name is on it, up to
Yes.
now, people still believe I own it.
You own it. All right. Conversely, what has been your biggest regret in business?
That I sold 32 St. James Street. Life.
There are many right now who have millions in their bank account, but they can't even sign a check to be able to draw money from their account. They can't even walk to the ATM to be able to draw a cent from their account. Give thanks. You get up every day. You walk, you run, you exercise, you do your push-ups. You can feed yourself. You can drive past that building each day. So guess what? Still pat yourself on the shoulder. Still big up your chest. Because believe it or not, we are still proud of you. It is what it is. Some decisions, you can never turn them back. But you have to just live with them and accept them. It is what it is.
Another biggest accomplishment for me was when I don't think I had a bad home in Montego Hills.
Yeah.
But when I came up with the idea to purchase this piece of lot out here, I'll never forget Joseph Eat, who was a real estate man at the time.
Agent, yeah.
Before he passed on, said to me, when I tried to find out if him couldn't give me a better price, he said the owner then, who was Dr. Marsh, he said he claimed that he went back to Dr. Marsh, talked to him, asked him, and according to him, he came back to say, Dr. Marsh is saying that who can't afford to pay that price shouldn't want to live in Iron Shore, something close to that. When I told your mother that I had my intention, I would sell Montego Hills to come out here, she wasn't too sure if I made a good move, because she said that she hear from people who have traveled and so on that out here is like some people live abroad who don't even know their neighbor. But in spite of that, I went through with it. Why are you coming on me for now? And I have no regret. The one time I have a problem out here was it. I have reason to believe it was the then gardener.
Okay, I remember.
But he did us a favor in that he took climb on the van top or whatever, use the and stick to take out your mother handbag,
yes.
go under the mango tree and take out whatever money was in it. Fortunately, our credit card, our driver's license was in it, and those were not disturbed. But except for that, I still have to be grateful. I don't have no problem out here yet, and that's why I'm worried with my two dogs. Anything go wrong with them? Because before I lost them two sometime last year, the two Rottweiler.
Yes.
I think my yard was well watched. Because one of those Rottweiler, one with Jasmine named Prince, that was a real watchdog. If you give me food and he start to eat and he want sound and he left the food and he go and check to find out what is it.
Yes.
That was that I want to come to my having that dog there. Really miss him. But it's all a part of life.
Yeah, man.
Part of life. Up sometime, down sometime. One woman said something to me about 2 years ago. One of those who stopped me on the road to say, Mr. Sam, boy, we miss you, and so on and so on. When she was talking to me, I said to her, I said, I'm going to tell you the truth. I regret selling St. James Street. And I said, what do you mean you regret? How do you know what the Almighty have in store for you?
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell if you were there, you would be a dead man by now?
Yeah.
And I shut up because I couldn't give her an answer. But you only say everything
Happen for a reason.
Yes.
Things will just fall into place.
Yes.
You don't know what the future holds.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
They make, you know, of the time that they make after me over there, car park.
It was a night?
It was a night.
Yes. You said it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going. Some construction was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that years back. It was minutes to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And why I said it after me, just have the sensation. Said,
Yeah, you were walking and you felt like somebody was
yes,
behind you.
Yes. And when I looked, he was behind me, but he switched off a little.
Mm-hmm.
And his crony that was coming from up the road, he will switch off too.
Yes.
So one go over Church Street wall,
Yes.
and one go over Strand Street.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit in the car for a little. Well, when I saw him, the first thing I did was put myself in a position where if
Yes.
needs be.
Yes.
Anyway, I stay a distance with my light off, go down Strand Street, Church Street, Harbour Street, and come back at the bottom of Market Street that I could have drive.
Yeah, you could pass. Yeah.
Yes. And the two guys go straight back to Sam Sharp Square.
Mm-hmm.
So what they were after?
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah, man. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, based on experience, they usually travel in teams.
Yes.
So that's nothing new or
Yes.
surprising.
Yes.
They usually travel in teams.
Well, you know about something that happened about a year plus ago, can't be more than 2 years, where them pick an envelope out my shirt pocket.
Yes.
And
Yes, you told me.
when I was saying, one of them, somebody else say, you should just grab him, and somebody else said no, because them
man.
have them chronic close by.
Yeah, man. Pretty close by. By the time you grab him, somebody stabbing your neck right there. You know? Yeah. They roll like that as teams. So.
And I got back, the envelope only had 2 lotto ticket tonight, and I get them back. So, I can go on.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. Thank God when another regret I have, the 2 lots that I bought at Bratton Road.
On the road, yeah, man.
Never forget them. Bought one first. Then I was given, when funds become available, that I was given a number to the man in where Marcia gone? Where did her name? Whatever her name. Where Marcia Morgan went go. That city or that state. And we called the man and finally get the other piece to buy.
Yeah.
And I was at the time looking to say, I have children growing up. They have go boy I grow up. This, that. But
it is what it is, Mr. Sam.
Excuse me, the financial meltdown of the 70s.
No, 90s.
Of the 90s, thank you.
FinSac era.
A lot of people get hit by it. And I am one of them because I was doing damn well up to then. And then things start to slide down with me. But
yeah.
Who am I? I'm just another person, so...
I would say you live, love, laugh, and you make mistakes. That's what life is about. What else to do? Alright, I say, I know being your son that, and being around you, and being around other persons, that you have made an indelible mark in the city of Montego Bay. Your contribution to business, to human development through the persons you have hired over the years and trained, and the business principles you have instilled in them, you have made a serious mark in the city of Montego Bay. Many persons have passed through your stables. Many photographers passed through your hands, passed through your studios, passed through your university. You may not have attended a university, but the institution you ran was pretty much a university in that it was a training ground for those in Montego Bay who wanted to fully comprehend and understand the art of photography. Not only did you teach them the skill, but the soft skills that were needed in terms of the service levels and the professionalism and all of that you imparted. Some said you're too strict, and it is only after leaving your organization and going overseas. I can name a few workers well who have actually called you to tell you thanks for what you have instilled in them. You know the names. We may not necessarily want to call the names on camera here now, since the objective is to launch this video worldwide via YouTube. I'm not sure they'll be comfortable with their names being called, but you know who they are. I know who they are. And many persons who will actually see this video will know exactly who they are. Well, Mr. Sam, too strict, man. You're too this, you're too that. Free up yourself, lighten up, man. But it's that strictness that paved the way for who they are today. That they are abroad excelling. And they can call back and say thank you for what you imparted. So, Moby is thankful to you. I, Dean Salmon, your son, is very thankful. I can speak on behalf of all your sons. We are thankful. Yes, you're strict, but guess what? The strictness, I would say, has paid off. Where we were disciplined, we were held to a certain standard, and we were held accountable for our actions. I remember summers working down the shop, Christmas holiday working down the shop, and that is what has molded us into the men of might who we are today. So, thank you very much. We appreciate it a lot.